Senatorial election. Invalid. Invalid. Nothing. One. Another one.
Tribune. Violence in so many states. How will you appraise the performance of the security agencies?
INEC says it is ready to conduct rerun elections in 28 constituencies across 11 states on Saturday, 25th January 2020, with 6 involving the entire constituencies, while 22 will be held in some polling units. The elections will be conducted in 1 senatorial district out of 109 districts, 12 federal constituencies out of 360 constituencies, and 15 state assembly constituencies out of 991. This rerun election is a fallout of the general elections in 2019 and emanated from 30 court-ordered election petitions, of which Ajaokuta Federal Constituency and a supplementary rerun election for the Kogi West Senatorial District was conducted on the 30th of November 2019. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakub assured Nigerians of credible elections, saying the Commission will work with security agencies to ensure adequate protection of election officials, accredited observers, and the media. This is ironic, as the ability of the electoral umpire to conduct credible elections has been called to question following the Imo governorship elections that led the Supreme Court to admit results from 388 polling units initially excluded by the Commission. Though the figures do not add up just yet, and the Supreme Court is yet to clarify the judgment, many have called for the resignation of the INEC boss, who under his watch such irregularities were allegedly conducted. Secondly, the lack of ability to conduct credible elections was likely after the violence that trailed the 2019 general elections and the Kogi and Bayelsa by-elections, where scores were killed amongst other irregularities. Despite the fact that the time frame for substitution of candidates have elapsed, INEC exempted Gamawa Federal Constituency in Bauchi State as well as Agwara State Constituency in Niger State from the substitution of candidates, as the rerun elections will be held without the candidates and parties that were declared winners in the general elections. In November 2019, the Court of Appeal in Jos nullified and ordered fresh elections of Garba Mohammed Gololo of the APC representing Gamawa Federal Constituency of Bauchi State, after Mohammed Wabo of the NNPP challenged his school degree of qualification, alleging that it was forged. Similarly, Tribunal in Niger State has ruled against the APC and its candidate Jafar Mohammed Agwara, who won the election in Agwara Federal Constituency, and on an appeal filed by the PDP and its candidate Abdurrahman Bala Gambo, a rerun was ordered. It is in light of barring substitution of candidates of any political party that INEC rejected the new candidate of the ruling APC for Saturday's rerun elections in Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District, Ekperi Ekpo. The APC took this move when its former candidate for the election in the state, Godswill Akpabio, was appointed as the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, but INEC insists that Senator Godswill Akpabio remains the candidate of the APC for the Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District court-ordered rerun election in Esi and Udim local government area. INEC swore in 2 newly elected state resident electoral commissioners, Alalibo Johnson, the rec officer for Cross River State, and Umar Gajiram, who was deployed to Taraba State. Johnson is replacing the former officer Franklin Biriai, who resigned his position after declaring his intention to contest in Bayelsa gubernatorial election, while Guriyam is replacing late Baba Yusuf, the former Taraba State rec officer who died in September 2019. A total of 807 post-election petitions were filed at various tribunals following the 2019 general elections. 582 were dismissed, while 183 were withdrawn by the petitioners.